Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to week one of the European Challenger Cup for Smite, sponsored by Tier Monster. Well, brought to you by Tier Monster, sponsored by hi-rez Studios, Owlhead Studios, as well as Discord. I am Merle. Joining me today, running your camera as well as being co-caster, is a Pip. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. How are you, Merle?
I'm pretty good. Excited to see some more Smite as we go into round 4 with Happy Gherkins versus Forsaken.
And we kind of took a peek at the roster, and Forsaken is has some names that people might find familiar.
Yeah, people might recognize a few members of Forsaken as the Myrmidons.
Which is
With
a really exciting
Mogao
thing for me
and
to see. You know, I'm
Prince.
kind of fanboying a little bit. I see that Mogao is in the solo lane. I'm very excited to see him play. Although totally going to keep it, professional. I just want to see the game go on. I am excited to see it.
I'm interested to see how this game goes, knowing that we've got a former SPL team going up in the Challenger Cup
Well,
versus the
let's
Happy Gherkins.
let's get down to it. To defeat Forsaken. We're going to go with a Raijin ban coming out from Happy Gherkins. Those Happy Gherkins want to make sure that, they don't get pickled by the Raijin ult.
Uh, let's go into pick some bands and see what's happening. We got lovely Raijin as well as Khepri bands. Exciting times for everybody. Two most common, highly valued picks just immediately kicked off the rosters for either of these teams.
Coming out, we then see an Odin ban. Well, after seeing that last game, I can see why we wouldn't want to see Odin in this game. We don't want to let that get in the hands of a capable support player. And Athena coming out as a good ban too, in my opinion.
Yeah, smart bands coming out from both teams, just targeting what they really don't want to play against, limiting the support options as well. Going for first pick into an Ao Kuang. We saw how exactly devastating he was last match, so it'll be interesting to see him played again.
Absolutely, you were 100% right there. And it looks like the return pickup is going to be a Guan Yu. We saw how effective
Uh,
that was in the last game.
yeah, a lot of sustain coming out, so definitely a smart pick.
And a Ho Yi with the boxing potential that he brings to the table. Going to be quite formidable in that dual lane. In
Uh,
response, we see Bakasura locked up and Scylla. So I guess that gives us our mid to right side of the map composition coming
yep,
out.
both the jungle in the form of Kuang as well as Bakasura and solo lane going up against the Guan Yu. What that's going to provide for Baka, he does have extra sustain from the ability to eat minions as well as the bonus protections from that, which will help against the protection peel of Taolu Assault. So it is a smart pickup, not necessarily the strongest counter to Guan Yu, but definitely a good one.
Absolutely. We do see Chronos picked up, which could either be an ADC Chronos or a mid Chronos. We don't know where that's going to be going just yet. They are banning out the Jingwei, so don't want to put up with the 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, we saw how devastating she was last match. The ability to have crits in your kit as well as guaranteed splash damage and the ability to basically freely rotate between anywhere in your tier 1 to tier 2 zone area on the map, definitely valuable.
And we see Kumbhakarna followed by a Geb ban. So both teams are kind of limiting the tank pool that the other can play.
Yeah, both not really looking to allow any tanks through, at least more common tanks. We've seen pretty much everyone that we've seen so far banned out. We've seen Kumba, we've seen Bacchus banned almost entirely, Gab, Athena, and Capri also pretty much percent big ban rate going in here. So it'd be interesting to see what they pick up. It's going to be a Sobek,
Sobek.
which basically leaves a Sylvanas, Kabrak, and Ymir, or Ares. So it'll be interesting to see which one they pick
We see the
up
Anhur come
for the
out.
Happy Gherkins.
That's, we just saw Anhur trying to take out a Ho-Yi. Didn't necessarily work out, but hey.
Didn't work out too well, but if you get a good pillar stun, it's almost as much of a death sentence as getting stunned by
Absolutely, and it's going to be
Meanwhile,
Ares.
He's awesome.
I love
I'm
Ares.
excited for this. I love the chains. Con slow damage and all that. And then once again we have a Nemesis coming out. Smart pickup against the Ares as his entire damage source is all damage over time, which is going to play into Retribution. She'll be able to reflect most of it, if not all of it, once Retribution, her shield, reaches that maximum level. In addition to the protection peel that we've seen be so heavily valued over the course of the past few games.
Some unconventional team comps here. I like it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this is going to bring. So without further ado, how about we get right into it?
I'm looking forward to this.
So here we are, starting off the Happy Gherkins on the left-hand side of your of your spectator UI, bottom side of the mini map. We're gonna have Nanyi taking the Bakasura over into the right-hand solo lane. All hail Muppets! Gonna take that Kuang into the jungle. Dekest going to take Scylla mid, and then Dutch Deadshot and Blizzard FX taking the Anhur Ares Season 1 duo lane in Season 3.
And on the top side of your spectator, on the top side of your mini map, right side of the spectator UI, we have Forsaken featuring Mogao in solo on the Guan Yu, Fly to Safety running Nemesis jungle, Tins on Chronos mid, Dardes on Sobek support, helping out Jermaine on the Hu-Yi.
And I love the skins that are coming out here. We've got Cowboy Ho-Yi partnered with Crocodile Sobek. And then on the other side, Olympian Anhur and Base Ares. Come on, you could have brought an awesome Ares skin to this party.
Soldier of Fortune, Fernando Ares. There are plenty of options, but I mean, it's cosmetic at that point.
We see them setting up for a traditional start. We haven't seen any invades or any kind of shenanigans starts.
No necessarily shenanigans starts, but we are seeing wards come out from Forsaken, one placed at the mid camps as well as right in front of the speedboat, help prevent any invades. Doesn't look like there will be one. Fly to Safety, running Red Pot Nemesis start. Certainly interesting given Nemesis is relatively low scaling, but the auto attack boost damage definitely going to help with their clear.
Can I help with their clear and also perhaps help them get to lane, perhaps a little bit more quickly than they would have otherwise. Guan Yu is okay, but he can't just outright eat a buff camp, after all.
Yeah, the ability to almost immediately eat out the buff camps, but meanwhile, Jermaine going
We had first blood.
Aggressive.
Who knew?
It's already been first blood. Ricochet coming out, Blizzard FX very low. Probably going to be forced to back somewhat shortly, just after this wave, if he isn't careful to get fucked out by that Sobek.
And there we have, Jermaine's Pro League experience. He knows exactly how to deal with an Ares. You kill him.
Pretty much.
Kill him before he can kill you.
The Ares made the decision to go for a Watcher's Gift, and decided to play aggressive. So minions definitely dealing a fair chunk of damage to them.
The interesting thing to me is that the lane opponent, the Sobek, also chose to go with a Watcher's Gift instead of... Usually you see a Mark of the Vanguard picked up when you're going against an Ares to offset some of the tick damage.
Yeah, considering Ares damage is all ticks, reducing each by 5 with that Mark of the Vanguard definitely very helpful, especially in the early game. Chains off the mark at point-blank range, interestingly enough.
Mark of the Iron Crow, however, is on the mark and making it so that Jermaine is dealing extra damage to Blizzard, who is down at about 40% of his health already over here in this dual lane. Still hasn't backed, still playing safe, still playing very well over here in this matchup. Did not give up second blood, which I think is a credit to him.
Yep, and meanwhile, comparing the mid lane starts, you've got a Soulstone and a Lost Artifact coming out from the Scylla, probably looking to start that Doom Orb as fast as possible. Meanwhile, you've got a Vampiric Shroud and purple pot for Tins on that Chronos, so he's definitely going for a little bit of a safer approach, getting that sustain off the Vamp Shroud.
Ares is left alone over here in the duo lane. He looks to be in some trouble once again, but the Jermaine and Dardes don't want to go after it quite as hard as they could have there. They forced the Anhur back in the middle of that and were able to get a good engagement out of that. Nice job to hold all around. 1 kill still on the kills so far at 3 minutes in. A quick first blood, and that's about all the bloodshed that we've got for you so far.
Yep. So the lane going about as expected. Nani able to deal out a little bit more poke damage than the Guan Yu, but Guan able to heal up most of it. Just teleports back.
Buff camps are on their first reset right now. We see the mid lane player Decast rotating with All Hail Muppets to go ahead and take those and the back camps. Blue will be up and available whenever it is that Nani wants to go for it at this point. Still looking to trade out some damage with the enemy Mogao. Yeah, everybody's looking to get their second spawn of mid camp or buff camps and just kind of go about their happy little way.
Yeah, just rolling through. I mean, it's a little bit too early to, look at builds and see what's different about them. The only real thing is Bluestone versus a Golden Bow start with Bakasura, which is going to help him with his clear, ensure that he gets his passive stacks going up in addition to his Eat Minion stacks, so that if he is able to catch Mogao out of position, similar to this, that he's able to just clean up.
And then we have Flight of Safety coming in with the ultimate, trying to go ahead and get the return kill, but unable to find it.
Find the kill through the minions. Beautiful cover from Nani, knowing exactly pathing of that as All Hail Muppets comes in. Unable to find anything as Flight of Safety's very safe under tower, but
Ares, no escape is going to come out. The Anhur ultimate is used, and instead it's Jermaine that gets the turnaround. Dutch Deadshot is able to pick up the return kill onto Jermaine, but for something that should have been a clean kill onto the Ho Yi, it's now turned 2-1 in favor of Forsaken. And that's the kind of turnaround that you need when you do get into those tight spots.
Oh, definitely. Brilliant play coming out of Jermaine, recognizing that he could still kill on her, even at the cost of his own life, definitely getting something out of that trade. Kill going to Ares instead of on her, definitely also very helpful, though he does get the assist money. Still sitting about 400 gold ahead of Blizzard FX.
Absolutely, which allows him to, of course, get that tier 2 boots instead of the tier 1. A little bit extra movement speed, and does that start giving him power? Yeah, 10 physical power instead of just the movement speed. So slight advantage going out to the Ho Yi. Nani taking a little bit of poke, but able to heal it up by eating a minion. Willing to sacrifice the gold so that he can get the safe clear over here on the right-hand side.
Yep. Not much going down at the moment. A little bit of a firefight between Jermaine and Blizzard, but not either of them finding a single auto onto each other, just more flexing their ADC muscles.
Flexing their ADC muscles, and really, Blizzard, anytime he can get damage onto Jermaine, is going to boost him up and make him feel a little bit more advantageous. He's going against somebody who did play in the SPL last season, and there's kind of the headspace thing. You got to be careful when you're approaching that attitude. I'm playing against a pro. But Blizzard seems to not be dealing with that at all. No escape coming out. Lurking in the water is going to be good. 9 Suns crashing down. Dutch Deadshot is going to fall to the minions. Credit goes to Dardes on that kill, however. Jermaine able to get away with just a sliver of health.
Yep, All Hail Muppets coming in, rotating a little bit too late, not able to find anything. Dardes able to safely back if he so desires. He recognizes the Muppets is coming in.
Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, we are seeing Nani stealing away the blue buff from the Guan Yu. That's going to help him a good bit, not only in his own mana sustain, but in preventing the mana sustain for the Guan Yu is extremely helpful. That means less heals, that means less Taolu assaults, that means less time he can spend in lane dealing poke and getting experience.
Yep, just trying to put as much pressure onto Mogo as he can, recognizing that with the Bakasura pick, he does have the upper hand and really just trying to force that advantage as much as possible because how much. One you can do in the late game, putting him behind as early as possible is definitely the best bet.
Pillar comes out. Impale is off the mark, though. Over here on the left-hand side, Blizzard FX is getting the worst of this trade with Jermaine right now. Mark of the Iron Crow is still active, but it does fall off without any follow-up from Jermaine. Wants to stick around. Ares now is backing out of the jungle, like walking backwards out of the jungle towards the left-hand side, trying to spot out a potential gank. Doesn't see one. And I looked like he was going to aggress there with the Anhur backing.
Yeah, not able to find anything there. In the meanwhile, while this is going on in the duo lane, Nani forced Mogao to ult, forced out the teleport, and baited out the Nemesis ult at no cost to him. Except for his blue buff.
No cost to him except for that blue buff, which, again, kind of comes out in the wash.
Yeah, considering he already stole the blue buff earlier from Mogao, definitely comes out as more of a wash. Really just being able to force Mogao out with the level of gold advantage that he currently has, sitting about 400 gold ahead and almost a complete level, definitely giving him breathing room. He's not really concerned about minions going into his tower or anything.
We did see Scylla rotate over towards the left-hand side of the map along with the Kuang. They were kind of, you know, they knew that the Nemesis was over on the right-hand side of the map because Nani was like, hey, I've got two over here. And so they were like, hey, that's gankable opportunity on left lane. Unfortunately, Dardez saw that and was backing, and they weren't able to press their advantage over there. Blizzard FX.
Block onto Blizzard, but hits the pillar directly. Nani looking to start or at least bait a gold.
Beautiful impale over there onto Jermaine. Avoids the ricochet while also impaling Jermaine into a wall in the jungle. Pillar there to try to get a slow to prevent his retreat that way. Tins in the meantime is able to pick up Dekest in the mid, forcing the Scylla to go back to base and think about it for a little bit. Although she is starting up the Warlock Sash, so safer stacking than, say, the Chronos, but only if Chronos dies.
Yeah. Very early stacking into the Warlock, so not getting as much HP as you wanted. In the meanwhile, fly to safety, using the ultimate, being able to find the kill on to Blizzard FX, allowing Jermaine more breathing room, just push down the tower, do as much damage as he can.
Meanwhile, we see Dardez over here, rotating over to the right-hand side of the map. Nani is forced to use his beads to prevent the charge prey from plucking him out of the tower range and safety. Dardez is able to get away with that cheeky play and is healed up by the Guan Yu. Nani now able to eat a minion and heal just a little bit, but not, you know, willing to back quite yet. Tallow Assault comes out, avoiding all of the damage is Nani.
Eat minion currently sitting at level 3, gonna heal them for 170 base plus their physical power, so definitely a fair amount.
A good heal.
Yeah, a good heal in addition to the bonus protections that you're getting. It's 20 for 10 seconds.
All hail Muppets barely avoided a double gank from Dardez and fly to safety. Instead, it was Nani that was going to be their target over there on the right-hand side, and it looks like the call is maybe to give up this tower.
Yeah, looks like in the meanwhile, Happy Gherkins gonna look to get that Gold Fury, able to secure it with the I'm a Monster, while Mogao gets that tower. Not really a worthwhile trade. Indian still about 1,000 gold lead, 4 Forsaken, 3.5k experience in the lead there as well. Forcing back Nani, just getting some breathing room for Mogao, considering how much pressure he was under earlier. Definitely the safest bet.
Absolutely.
Although it does cost them the gold trade.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, 3 people barreling down. Duo lane looking to get that tower as well. Definitely going to make that trade.
And you know,
more in their favor.
Knowing that there were 3 members of the red team over there on the right-hand side of the map, Happy Gherkins listened to the advice of a former Smite Pro League caster and said, if we have the numbers advantage over here, we should probably go ahead and get something for it. and they do that. No escape coming out in the mid lane. Gets 4, but not enough. Nobody gets pulled as they go ahead and pick off Ares instead. He falls before the no escape goes off.
Taking a fair amount of poke from Tins' Chronos, but not able to secure a kill onto anything. In the meanwhile, Nani looking to get that tower as Mogao just clears up the meter.
Dekest is in some trouble here. Flight of Safety is barreling down on him. Cavalry charge is good. Flight of Safety able to pick up the kill. Execute range not quite there for All Hail Muppets. Was looking to get the execute onto the Nemesis, but was able to get the slight bit of heal off of the Guan and the reset. Nani now in some trouble and is going to fall to the 4-man rotation there on the right-hand side of the map.
Yeah, incredibly smart play coming out of Dardes, using the shell to mitigate the true damage that was coming out. Unfortunately, Flight of Safety does die, but it's a 3-for-1 trade, so definitely worthwhile.
Definitely worthwhile indeed. They've offset the Go Fury and then some. They are up the 2 towers, even though the tower on right-hand side, the Tier 1 tower on right, is looking a little bit low, a little bit more exposed.
What was a 1,200 gold difference is now a 3,300 and climbing. XP difference has gone up to 7,000. So Forsaken just taking what they can, as F-Thought puts it, going for the stuff after the stuff, just climbing whatever and claiming whatever they can to keep their lead.
We have Jermaine versus Blizzard part 6, 7 of this game. Not willing to engage is Jermaine. He sniffs something out. He's got the ward on that side. Probably saw the Ares on the ward wandering around. Didn't want to stick around and be exposed. That's why wards are important, kids. We want to make sure that you have vision and don't do anything silly. Bekest gets hit by the stop time and the time rift, taking a good bit of damage there and forced to go ahead and go back to the base for a reset.
Once again, we see Nemesis going for Void Shield, very popular. As we can see, just getting as much protection appeal as well, going for more defensive type options, probably going to finish up that heavy mace into Jotun's Wrath, get some CDR online, then look for some sort of magical defense, either Genji's or Bulwark of Hope, just allow them to be a very disruptive, tankier jungler, while Kuang is going to be focused on dealing a lot of burst damage.
Absolutely. We do see members of Forsaken are pushed up a good bit, like a good bit more than their share of the map, for example. Jermaine is aggressing and kind of proxy farming, if you can call it that, off of Blizzard.
Nani able to clean up Mogao, but falls to Tins' Dutch Deadshot now in a little bit of an unfortunate spot. Can be able to get off with no escape, but in a very bad position. All Hail Muppets, very unfortunate positioning, as he used his water illusion.
Charge spray is good, and Tins is going to get the credit for that kill. Good Sikkim coming out of Dekest, going to lock up both Flight of Safety and Dardes there and get the crush damage onto him as well. Yeah. Unfortunately, not enough to pick a kill. Jermaine on the other side picking up Blizzard FX once again.
Flight of Safety using the crush with Retribution to get a nice heal out. Goes from half HP to near full, and going to steal away that speed buff as the tier 2 in the solo lane falls.
Tier 2 in the solo lane falls, and the one on the left-hand side is at about half HP. Jermaine is over here taking this for free. Nani is coming up the side. It looks like he's not going to get there in time to prevent the tower from falling. But Ares is right behind. Jermaine has no idea. He is chained. That's good cripple coming out. Damage, and Jermaine is going to go down. Dutch Deadshot credited with that kill. Beautiful gank.
Looking to try and steal away the gold. The Fire Giant with his ultimate, unable to find it. A lot of poke damage coming out from the Fire Giant, however, to the entirety of Forsaken. But doesn't matter, as the rest of them clean it up. Jermaine, unfortunately, not able to get that, but the rest of the team getting it for mostly free.
Unfortunately,
Still
not
going
able to
heavily
make it, but
back
he's still
away,
level
but-
17, 2 levels above his lane opponent. That's kind of the story across the board. Nani is keeping even with Mogao over there. Both of them are level 17, but Chronos at level 19, fully stacked Doom Orb, Winged Blade, Obsidian Shard, the list goes on. He's just getting more and more powerful by the second.
Yeah. Still behind in gold, but not behind in damage. Definitely throwing out a lot. But if we look at Nemesis building a warded shield, that's probably going to go into a runic shield to help limit the damage that can be dealt by that Kuang, as well as the attack speed reduction definitely playing a part into Bakasura and Anhur's damage.
Absolutely, and it can be, and you know, Alquang does have a pretty high attack speed chain, just in general. Forsaken cleaning up the Gold Fury for free over there on the left-hand side of the map. Happy Gherkins not able to aggress anymore on this. We do see Deadshot not wanting to give up this tier 2 tower over here. Oh, 4-man grouping here in the middle. 3 of them with Fire Giant. It's not going to be pretty. I think this tower is going to go away.
Yeah, tower gonna fall. No towers left standing. Only the Phoenix is the final line of defense before the Titan. As Forsaken barrel down the mid lane, load up as fast as possible.
Was that a Phoenix?
That was a
It didn't
Phoenix.
seem like it was a Phoenix. It seemed like it was, you know, maybe a buff camp with the speed that they took that.
Yeah, with both Chronos and Hu-Yi, although Hu-Yi doesn't have the bonus damage from the Fire Giant, he certainly has the attack speed and the factors to be able to just blow it up. Now Jermaine going in from behind, looking flex his muscles a little bit onto all helm muppets, but not really finding.
No escape grabs 3, but not able to actually pull anybody. 9 Suns are coming down. Deckcast is trying to get it, but the second Phoenix does fall. The cast now is in some trouble. Does get hit by the stop time. Does not fall, however, by getting back into the fountain at the last possible second, prevented that death. And it looks like the boys of Forsaken are looking to rotate over to the right-hand side, maybe make this a triple Phoenix, as Nemesis, of course, backs and proves me wrong. Never call things out, kids. They will just do the opposite
It's
thing.
caster's curse. It's caster's curse. As it stands, there's 2 Phoenixes and Dutch Deadshot for nobody. Unfortunate.
2 Phoenixes and the tier 2 tower since the last time that
True.
they backed.
If we look at the graphs now, it is a 12k gold lead, 14, almost 15k experience. Nani trying to do what he can, but taking a lot of damage away from Jermaine.
Jermaine, of course, is trying to chase down the kill. Mogao trying to chase it down with a cavalry charge. Nani forced to ult for the movement speed, trying to prevent as much as he possibly can. Not able to get away is Hail Muppets over there. Nani with a beautiful jump over, prolonging the inevitable and trying to make it not inevitable.
They're chasing the kill instead of looking for the Phoenix. Definitely at this point realizing that
Chronos coming in from the top.
this game is almost entirely in their hands. There's very little that could cost them.
Nani, very impressive. They do finally lock him up. That was fun to watch. It was like a Benny Hill chase sequence for just a moment.
Surrender vote starting, nothing coming of it yet, but might be a good idea. Not much that they can do at this point on the side of Happy Gherkins to come out of victory. Fire Giant still down, 2 Phoenixes down. Definitely a morale hit whenever you pop that F6 button, as we've seen.
Absolutely.
Both in the SPL and in our own casual play.
The first F6 that comes out, everybody who's doing okay but not great is like, well, why do I even bother?
Yeah.
We'll see if the Happy Gherkins can turn this around. I mean, obviously throws do happen. Throws happen even more so in the Challenger Cup than anywhere else. Anything is possible in the Challenger Cup. That's why watching Amateur Smite is so much fun. These are people who want to come into the Pro League. They are consistent to a fault, almost.
Yeah. I mean, so far we've seen Nemesis be the flavor pick so far when it comes to European Challenger scene. So definitely popular in what she offers to the team. Fire Giant being started up by Flat of Safety.
On that Nemesis. On that
Forsaken.
flavor of the month pick.
Absolutely.
Teleport coming in. Hi Mogal. Welcome to the Fire Giant Pit. You're our guest, and we have a gift for you in the form of that knockup right there. But
Absolutely.
in return for your trouble, you get a Fire
both
Giant
Phoenix
belt.
is still down, very free Fire Giant as they look to aggress down onto solo lane Phoenix and then potentially clean up mid lane as well. Fly to safety, just keeping the minions dead.
Middle Phoenix does come back up. Members of Forsaken are looking instead to push down the left-hand side. No escape coming out. 9 Suns crashing down in response. Mogal immediately jumps to the back line. Charge Prey is good. Beads are a little bit better, able to avoid the time rift. Darda is credited with the kill onto Blizzard FX. Dutch Deadshot does also fall, and they're just going to go right for the Titan at this point. Healing as
Bakasura
much
trying to
as
deal
they
as
can.
much damage as possible, but Shell coming out, mitigating a lot of the damage. Falls down to Jermaine. Decast unable to find the right ultimate. All Hell Muppets finished off by Tins. At this point, it's only a matter of time before the Titan falls. Decast thrown out with the charge spray, gonna fall, and that will be game as Titan dies. Forsaken
Victory
win.
for Forsaken. They're moving on from round 4 of the Challenger Cup. That's going to bring us to the semifinals. Am I right?
I believe so. Yes.
So the next round will be the semifinals, and we're going to be down to 4 teams. We will be back very soon with that, with the semifinal match. Looks like we are going to be watching Doom versus the Poppies. I'm excited for that, guys. Can't wait to see you. Hope you will join us then. This is the European Challenger Cup Week 1. Brought to you by Tier Monster. And sponsored by hi-rez Studios, Owlhead Studios, and Discord. I am a Pip. This is Merle. Hope you will join us for the semifinals coming up next.